And now that you've crossed that initial threshold, that silent line between the man who awakens out of habit and the man who awakens out of purpose, I need to reveal something to you that few understand. The first hour of the morning doesn't just shape your day. It shapes the man you are becoming. Because it is at that moment that your mind is most open, most malleable, most impressionable. And it is at this moment that your aura, the vibrational field that defines your presence in the world, begins to take shape. Napoleon Hill always said that every man creates his own destiny through the thoughts he nurtures and the emotions he sustains. But he also taught us something even more profound. The subconscious mind isn't shaped when you want it to be, it's shaped when it's receptive. And there is no more receptive, more fertile, more decisive moment than the first hour of the morning. Think about it. Before the world influences you, before external opinions try to enter your mind, before confusion tries to touch your energy, there is a pure space, a clean space, a quiet space. This space is yours, and it belongs only to you. Most men waste it. But the men who create wealth, purpose, greatness, and energetic stability know this hour is sacred. This hour is strategic. This hour is destiny. Because everything you put into that first hour, thoughts, images, words, emotions, becomes the vibrational tone that your energy field carries for the rest of the day. And its aura is not neutral. She is an antenna. She emits. She receives it. She's attractive. She repels it. She shapes circumstances. It alters the results. It transforms or limits. And the man who awakens unconsciously loses the power to control that force. But the man who awakens to intention becomes its master. The first hour of the morning is your invisible throne. When Napoleon Hill studied more than 25,000 men, including major industrialists, presidents, inventors, millionaires, and leaders, he discovered a shocking pattern. All men who achieved greatness had a moment of mental preparation before the world had access to them. Because they knew that the external world only obeys the man who masters his inner world. And the inner world can only be mastered when the mind is still pure, silent, and malleable. This time is not routine. It's a throne. It is his creative palace. It is the only time of day when the universe seems willing to listen to you before listening to anything else. Therefore, when you awaken unintentionally, you abdicate that throne. But when you awaken with presence, you take invisible command of your life. Your aura, that magnetic field that surrounds you, expands, strengthens, and organizes itself. And when your aura is aligned, you don't need to chase opportunities. They come to you. The morning mind is energetic clay. There are 2 times of day when the subconscious is most vulnerable: right before going to sleep and right after waking up. But the impact is greatest upon waking. Because you are leaving the state where the subconscious reigns supreme, the state of deep brain waves, and entering the conscious state. During that interval, you are literally between 2 worlds. And it is in this in-between space that suggestions come in with the most force. Napoleon Hill called this the gold of the human mind. His channel calls it the aura code. And they are both saying the same thing. Everything you think about in the morning has multiplied power. Everything you feel in the morning awakens deep energies. Everything you affirm in the morning shapes how you behave and react throughout the day. Because the aura, that field that vibrates around you, absorbs your first emotions as if they were the paint with which you will paint your entire day. If you awaken in gratitude, your aura emanates abundance. If you become focused, your aura emanates direction. If you awaken to discipline, your aura emanates strength. If you awaken in clarity, your aura emanates purpose. But if it wakes up in a hurry, its aura emanates disorder. If you wake up anxious, your aura emanates fragmentation. If you wake up feeling lost, your aura emanates energetic vulnerability. And that influences everything: your results, your conversations, your meetings, your decisions, your creativity, your leadership, your prosperity, your presence. A man who wakes up without awareness is at the mercy of the day. The man who awakens with awareness makes the day work in his favor. Before listening to the world, listen to yourself. Hill said, "The man who masters his mind masters his world." But how can you control your mind if, before you even fully open your eyes, you open your cell phone? If you surrender to the noise of others before recognizing yourself? Do you connect with chaotic energies before even feeling your own energy? This is why many people never achieve clarity. They never achieve their purpose. They never achieve vibrational prosperity. They give their first and most important hour to the world, and the world never gives it back. But you weren't born for this. You were born for something much greater. The first hour of the morning should be used for listening. Your own conscience, your own energy, your own inner truth. That's not selfishness. That's it, vibrational alignment. That's when you say, before the world touches me, I will touch my own light. Before the world defines my day, I will define my vibe. Before I serve the world, I will connect with my higher self. This is the discipline that separates ordinary men from extraordinary men. And it is discipline that creates the kind of aura that opens doors. Ordinary men surrender the morning. Rare men claim it. Most people wake up as if nothing is at stake. But everything is at stake. The first hour decides your energy, your emotional intelligence, your ability to focus, your physical disposition, your ability to attract opportunities, its vibrational concentration, your leadership, your resilience, your pace, your day, your life. And here is a harsh but necessary truth. The man who hits the snooze button is training his brain to give up on himself. Because every time you hit the snooze button, you send a message to your subconscious. My comfort is more important than my purpose. My destiny can wait. My discipline is negotiable, and the subconscious believes it. The aura believes, and your whole day enters a low frequency. But the rare man, the man Napoleon Hill studied, the man you are becoming, knows that the first victory of the day is overcoming yourself by opening your eyes. When you wake up and get up immediately, when you take a deep breath and assert your presence, when it masters its first thoughts, you send a completely different message. I am stronger than my impulses. I honor my purpose above my comfort. I control my day. I control my vibe. I control my life. This is the energy of men who conquer the impossible. And this energy is built up right after waking up. Morning declaration. The first command to your aura. Now we begin to get into the practical part, the vibrational ritual, the architecture of the aura, the inner masterpiece. The first conscious action of the day should be declaration. The declaration is the order. That's the command. It is the message sent to the subconscious and the energy field. Sit up straight, breathe, feel your feet firmly on the ground. Recognize that you are awakening to a new world, and a new world is awakening to you. It is declared, I am in control of my mind. I direct my energy. I build my day with discipline, focus, and faith. These words activate the subconscious, but they also activate the aura. The aura receives this command as a primary vibrational signal, the base frequency that it will carry throughout the day. If you start the day in command, your presence will command. If you begin with clarity, your energy will be one of clarity. If you start with focus, your vibration will be one of focus. If you start with power, your aura will be a field of power. Declarations are the vibrational foundation. This is the initial code. They are the musical note that tunes the instrument of your aura. Visualization, the invisible architecture of your aura. Following the declaration comes the practice that Napoleon Hill considered one of the pillars of the millionaire mind, and which, within the aura of success, is understood as the first vibrational engineering of the day, the visualization. Visualization is not daydreaming. It's not fantasy. It's not escapism. It is synergy preparation. It is subconscious reprogramming. It is vibrational training. When you visualize, really visualize, you're not just imagining what you'd like to experience. Are you training your aura to ... to sustain the identity that lives this reality. And that difference is gigantic. Close your eyes for a few moments. Take a deep breath. Let your body relax. Allow your mind to become a blank canvas. And then, start seeing the day ahead of you as a field of victories. Imagine yourself entering each environment with confidence. See yourself speaking with firmness, clarity, and calmness. Imagine yourself resolving difficulties with emotional intelligence. Imagine yourself walking with a leadership posture. Imagine yourself tackling challenges without losing your rhythm. See if you'll keep your promise. See yourself keeping your word to yourself. But seeing is not enough. You have to feel. Feel the lightness in your chest. Feel the rhythm of your breathing. Feel the strength in your posture. Feel your aura expanding, luminous and stable. Allow your imagination to excite your body. Because when emotion enters, your aura registers it. The man who visualizes with emotion creates such a strong vibrational ripple that the entire day begins to rearrange itself in response to his energy. Visualization is creation before creation. It's a rehearsal before reality. It's the excitement before the result. Hill said that the mind creates its own vibrational pattern, and his channel translates this as follows. An aura can only attract what it has already rehearsed to sustain. Scripting. Writing is encoding the aura after visualizing the image. Grab a piece of paper, not your phone, and start writing. But don't write about your past. Don't write about your fears. Don't write justifications. Write time the present tense, the identity that you are installing. Because writing is more than just translating thoughts. Writing is programming the subconscious. And it is also to embed vibrations in your aura, as if each phrase were an energy code. Write, I am disciplined. I am focused. I act with confidence. I keep my word. I cultivate a prosperous and magnetic aura. I attract opportunities that align with my purpose. I'm the kind of person who turns intention into action. You will be doing exactly what Napoleon Hill taught, fixing in the subconscious the identity that will produce the desired destiny. But it will also be doing something that many people don't know, installing in the vibrational field the frequency that will condense opportunities around you. Because the subconscious governs your behavior, and the aura governs your circumstances. And when both are aligned, you become unstoppable. Gratitude, the most underestimated vibrational key in the world. Napoleon Hill spoke of applied faith as the force that moves mountains. In the vocabulary of aura, applied faith is gratitude in motion. Gratitude is one of the only emotions capable of raising your frequency immediately. It dissolves fear, erases doubt, and reorganizes the energy field. But generic gratitude won't do. Gratitude needs to be specific, emotional, and vivid. Say, I am grateful for my mind. I am grateful for the discipline I am cultivating. I am grateful for the strength that grows within me every day. I am grateful for the opportunity to write a new destiny. I am grateful because my aura expands every morning. Feel it. Don't just think, feel. Gratitude amplifies your vibration. And that which is amplified grows. And that which grows manifests itself. Certainty. The frequency that orders the universe. After gratitude comes certainty. One of the most powerful forces in the inner world. Certainty is not arrogance. It's not an inflated ego. It's not pretentious. It is faith aligned with action, the vibration that Napoleon Hill described as unwavering conviction. Affirmations. I'm sure everything is working in my favor. I am certain that I am evolving daily. I am certain that challenges make me stronger. I am certain that my aura is aligned with my purpose. I'm certain that my success is inevitable. Certainty's vibrational command. It's positional awareness. It is the energy of someone who knows that life responds to the frequency they maintain, and not to the fear they feel. When you maintain certainty in the morning, your posture changes. Your voice changes. Their decisions change. Your energy changes. And the world changes with you. Discipline. The force that dismantles the old you. Now we come to a crucial point. Discipline. Discipline is not punishment. It's not pressure. It's not rigidity. Discipline is vibrational freedom. Discipline is applied clarity. Discipline is the act of choosing what you want over what you feel at the moment. Napoleon Hill said that discipline is the internal engine of success. But within the aura of success, discipline is something even deeper. Discipline is the energetic death of the old self. Every morning that you perform the ritual, even unwillingly, you are telling your subconscious, I am bigger than my excuses. I am stronger than my old standards. I honor the man I am becoming, and it is saying to the aura, expand, align, firm up. I am in charge. And something magical happens when you overcome yourself in the morning. Your aura begins to emit the frequency of constancy. And consistency is the vibrational hallmark of success. The body, the physical vehicle of your vibration. Hill spoke about the inseparable relationship between body and mind. But your channel takes this to a vibrational level. The body is the first instruments of the aura. If the body awakens stiff, slow, tense, its vibration awakens trapped. But if the body awakens active, present, alive, its vibration awakens freely. Therefore, dedicate 5 minutes to conscious movement. It doesn't have to be heavy training. Just breathing, stretching, opening, fluidity. Every movement is a bodily command to the subconscious. We are alive. We are present. We are paying attention. And the aura responds immediately. The body releases energy. Energy fuels aura. The aura nourishes your presence. Your presence fuels your results. The enemy of the aura, the snooze button, if there is a physical symbol of self-sabotage, it is not dramatic. It is not grandiose. It is not obvious. It's the snooze button. Napoleon Hill warned against the habit of procrastination, explaining that delaying kills more dreams than failure. In a vibrational context, the snooze button is worse than procrastination. He is energy withdrawal statement. Every time you hit the snooze button, you're telling your subconscious, my word is worthless. My purpose can wait. My comfort is greater than my greatness. And the subconscious believes it. And the aura believes. And your entire day begins to vibrate at the frequency of this invisible resignation. The impact isn't in 5 more minutes. It's about who you become when you allow yourself those 5 minutes. And what you become vibrates. And what vibrates attracts. The man who hits the snooze button doesn't just waste time, he loses his identity. But the man who rises when he promises himself, it gains strength, gains clarity, gains self-confidence. And their aura shines with the stability of someone who keeps their word. Morning self-discipline is the foundation of self-confidence. And self-confidence is the vibration that Napoleon Hill said was one of the most irresistible forces of attraction. Therefore, it's not about waking up early. It's about don't lie to yourself as soon as you wake up. The man who keeps his word at 5 a.m., it's the same man who retains his vision at 5 p.m. And the universe responds to this kind of vibrational integrity. Identity, the core of your aura. Now we come to the most profound point of this entire teaching. You don't attract what you desire, you attract what you believe yourself to be. Napoleon Hill repeated this in different words, different chapters, different metaphors. But the meaning is always the same. The foundation of fulfillment is not desire, but identity. In the vibrational field, this is even clearer. The aura can only sustain the frequency of the identity you embody. Desires vibrate loudly for a few minutes. Identity vibrates all day long. Desires change with mood. Identity remains despite the humor. Desires inspire. Identity transforms. Therefore, their entire morning ritual is, at its core, a process of identity installation. When you declare, visualize, write, give thanks, and hold certainty, you are telling the universe, this is the version of me that will be present today. This is the frequency I choose to charge. This is the identity I authorize to command my aura. The question is not, what do I want to attract? Yes, who do I need to become to attract this naturally? Attraction is a consequence of identity. Identity is a consequence of repetition. And repetition is a consequence of morning discipline. Their identity is not discovered. Your identity is decided, and decided every day, right after waking up. The law of vibration applied. Your aura as an antenna. The law of attraction is misunderstood by most because it doesn't begin with attraction. It begins with ... vibration. Napoleon Hill explained this without using spiritual language. He spoke of mental waves, thought patterns, and emotional rhythms. Today we call this vibration. We call it the aura. Modern quantum physics calls it a personal electromagnetic field. It doesn't matter what it's called. The principle is the same. You only attract what your vibration can sustain. And where does the vibration you maintain begin? First thing in the morning. If you wake up in chaos, your aura vibrates with disorder. If you wake up in doubt, you vibrate with uncertainty. If you wake up rushing, you're experiencing a lack of time. If you wake up frustrated, you're harming yourself. But when you wake up intentionally, you create a completely different energetic signature. Your aura becomes more stable, clearer, more expansive, more magnetized, more aligned with your purpose. And the world begins to respond in a different way. People treat him differently. Doors open without force. Opportunities appear out of nowhere. His presence is felt. His confidence is noticeable. His leadership is recognized, not because you asked, but why you vibrated. The attraction is never magic, she's vibrational. The death of the old me, true transformation, cannot happen as long as the old you is still alive within you. And the old you doesn't die in major crises, dramatic changes, or epic upheavals. The old saying goes, you die in the small decisions, in small commitments, in small repetitions, especially in the short repetitions right after waking up. Old age, you die when you choose to get up instead of hitting snooze. You choose to speak out instead of complaining. You choose to visualize instead of fearing. You choose to write your identity instead of rehashing your failures. You choose to be grateful instead of complaining. You choose certainty instead of doubt. You choose discipline instead of excuses. The transformation doesn't happen in the future. It happens in the morning. Napoleon Hill said, "There is no external conquest more powerful than internal conquest." And in the vibrational realm, this inner achievement is the energetic death of the self you no longer wish to be. Each morning repetition is a shovelful of dirt on the old you. ... and a new brick in the you that is rising. A prosperous aura, the field that attracts the inevitable prosperity, is not just about money. It's flow, it's expansion, it's magnetism. It is emotional, spiritual, mental, and even physical vitality. Prosperity is a vibrational state. And this vibrational state has a clear point of origin: morning mental discipline. The man who wakes up with clarity cultivates a stable aura. A man who wakes up with intention cultivates a strong aura. A man who wakes up with gratitude cultivates an expansive aura. The man who wakes up with faith cultivates a magnetic aura. A man who wakes up with discipline cultivates a prosperous aura. Your aura is like a seed. It always grows in the direction of what you water it in the morning. Do you water with fear or with faith? Doubtful or decisive? With chaos or with command? Prosperity is never an accident. Prosperity is frequency. And frequency is a repeated choice. The body is the first anchoring point of the aura. There is a truth that few understand. The aura is not just mental, emotional, or spiritual. She is also physical. The body is the primary receptacle of your vibration. And what the body feels upon waking, the aura amplifies. Napoleon Hill said that energy follows thought, but there's an essential addition. Energy also follows the body. Posture changes vibration. Breathing changes clarity. Body rhythms change emotional states. Therefore, dedicate a few minutes to mindful movement, not for aesthetics, but for energy. Not as physical exercise, but as vibrational exercise. Let your shoulders open up. His chest expands. His breathing deepens. Your body awakens. This movement sends the following message to the subconscious: we are active. We are present. We are in charge, and it sends to the aura. We can expand, we can radiate. We can vibrate at a high frequency. Even 5 minutes make a difference. They become the physical spark that awakens your inner energy. The body is the amplifier of intention. And when body, mind, and aura come into harmony first thing in the morning, you become impossible to ignore. Silence, the portal where your aura aligns. After declaring, visualizing, writing, and moving, there's one practice that few master, but which completely transforms your energy field: the practice of silent presence. This is not the silence of emptiness. It is the silence of alignment. It's the moment when the mind stops talking and the soul begins to emit frequency. Sit down. Breathe. Don't think. Don't force it. Don't plan. Just be present. Napoleon Hill said that all great ideas come from a higher intelligence, something that can only be accessed outside the noise of everyday life. In Aura of Success, we say that in silence, the aura finds its natural frequency. In silence, the higher self speaks. In silence, courage takes root. This silence doesn't have to last long. 3 minutes is enough. But 3 minutes of genuine presence are worth more than 3 hours of disconnected effort. The energy you organize in the silence of the morning becomes the field that protects, guides, and sustains you throughout the day. It is in silence that you find the inner tone of your leadership. It is in silence that you find clarity of purpose. It is in silence that you stop reacting and begin to responder. And men who respond, instead of reacting, are the men who build empires. Presence, stable aura, leading mind. When you awaken in presence, you step into the world like a fortress. Your aura stops vibrating in a scattered way and starts vibrating in a more balanced way. Continuous, stable, firm. People feel this way. Environments respond to this. Situations change because of this. Presence is the ability to be fully present in the now, and the presence is magnetic. Napoleon Hill said that great leaders possess a quiet inner strength that forces presence. This presence is the stabilized aura. And this stabilized aura is exactly what you install in the first hour of the morning. Think about the men you admire. They speak more slowly. They breathe more deeply. They make decisions with greater clarity. They enter environments without anxiety. They seem to take up more space. That's not arrogance. That's it aura. And your aura becomes like this when you master your morning. When you awaken with intention. When you create instead of react. When you connect with yourself before connecting with the world. Presence is what transforms an ordinary man into a role model. That's what transforms a worker into a leader. That's what transforms a dreamer into a creator. This is what transforms a seeker into the master of their own destiny. Vibrational self-confidence, the force the world respects. Napoleon Hill said that self-confidence is one of the most profitable mental states that exist, and he was right. But his channel expands on that. Self-confidence is not a thought, it's a vibration. You don't feel confident because you have logical reasons. You feel confident because your aura is strong, because your mind is clear, because your energy is aligned. Trust is the vibrational state that arises when you keep your word in the morning. Do you see yourself as capable? You write your identity, you hold gratitude and certainty. You honor your discipline, you anchor yourself in silence. You awaken your physical energy. You assume the throne of intention. Self-confidence is the sum of these practices. It is the vibrational result of small daily actions. It's the natural consequence of disciplining your aura. And the world responds to trust before it responds to words. A confident aura opens doors, attracts allies, repels destructive people, magnetizes opportunities, creates movement. It inspires respect. Trust is the frequency of the inevitable. And you build that frequency in the morning, every day. The universe responds to identity, not desire. Here is one of the most important truths from this entire video. The universe doesn't respond to what you ask for. It responds to who you are. You may desire prosperity, But if your aura vibrates with scarcity, you repel prosperity. You may desire love, but if your aura vibrates with neediness, you repel love. You may desire opportunities, but if your aura vibrates with doubt, you repel opportunities. Life doesn't respond to your wishes. Answer your vibrational identity. And your vibrational identity is built through daily discipline, particularly in the first hour of the morning. This is the moment when you install your mindset, choose your energy, define your focus, align your body, stabilizes your field, activates its presence, destroys your old self, and creates the new. This new you is what the universe recognizes. This new you is what the universe is responding to. This new you is what attracts new circumstances. You don't change your life by changing desires. You change your life by changing your vibrations. And vibrations change with repetition. And repetition begins in the morning. The world will not bow to your request, but he bows without resistance to the man who vibrates with consistency. Getting up is not just waking up, it's declaring your identity. Most people believe that waking up is a biological act. But for those who understand the power of the mind and vibration, awakening is a spiritual, psychological, and identity-related act. When the alarm goes off and you choose to get up immediately, even without wanting to, even without energy, even without motivation, you are doing something that few people realize. You are telling the subconscious who is in charge. And more than that, you are telling your aura which version of you is taking over the day. There is a stark difference between, I wake up because I need to, and I wake up because I decided to. The first one vibrates with obligation. The second one exudes authority. Napoleon Hill said that the man who controls his habits controls his destiny. And the habit of getting up when you said you would get up. It's not a small habit. It's a habit, foundational. He supports everyone else. Every time you disrespect yourself right after waking up, you weaken your confidence. But every time you keep your word as soon as you wake up, you strengthen the root of your identity. And identity is the vibrational core of the aura. The man who stands up when he promised he would. He is the same man who keeps his word in business, in relationships, in goals, in challenges. Morning discipline is the most powerful way to announce to the universe, I am prepared, I am present, I am aware, I am responsible for my vibration. I'm the kind of man who doesn't compromise on his own growth. And the universe responds to this type of vibration with paths, opportunities, and synchronicities that don't appear for those who live adrift. The power of consistency. The aura becomes unwavering. People underestimate discipline because they believe that big changes come from big actions. But Napoleon Hill insisted, big changes come from small actions repeated with great consistency. And here is the vibrational translation of that. The aura does not change intensely. It transforms through repetition. Having an inspired day doesn't change your aura. A disciplined week won't change your aura. A month flowing smoothly doesn't change your aura. But 6 months of conscious awareness from the very first hour, this changes a man. This destroys old identities. This installs new frequencies. This reprograms your energy on such a deep level that your life has no choice but to harmonize with this new vibration. Consistency is destiny. Consistency is magnetism. Consistency is a vibrational signature. Every morning you repeat the ritual. Declares, visualize, he writes. Thank you, asserts certainty, silence, moves the body, stabilizes the aura. Your energy gets stronger. His presence becomes more firmly established. Your mind becomes clearer. Your subconscious becomes more obedient. Your aura becomes brighter. And your life more aligned. The universe doesn't respond to what you do, eventually. It responds to what you consistently vibrate. And it is the first hour of the morning that shapes this consistency. The man you want to be meets you in the morning. There's a detail that few people notice. Every night you fall asleep as the person you were that day. But every morning you wake up with the chance to decide who you will be in that new cycle. The first hour is not meant to continue yesterday. It serves toto start today. It serves to allow your higher self to find space to emerge. And this higher self does not appear in chaos. It appears in the subject. He appears in the silence. He appears with certainty. It appears in the intention. It appears in gratitude. He appears in the decision. The man you want to be is always waiting on the other side of your discipline. It only fails to appear when you surrender your morning to noise, haste, anxiety, your cell phone, the outside world. But when you give him space, he appears. He is breathing, he's thrilled, they are settling in. And the more you repeat this morning ritual, the more this man, your high potential self, ceases to be a distant vision and becomes your real identity. The morning mission, the energy that expands your aura to the world. After building your vibration, activating your presence, aligning your field, and stabilizing your identity, there's one last step left. A step that Napoleon Hill considered essential for true greatness, the purpose that transcends yourself. In aura of success, this is known as the vibration that expands beyond the self. At the end of your first hour, ask yourself, who can I impact today? Who can receive some of this energy that I am building? How can I serve with the strength I am cultivating? This question does something extraordinary to your energy field. Raise your vibration immediately. Remove the ego from the equation. Transform your discipline into purpose. It increases the magnetic power of your aura. Connect your energy with the energy of life, creating flow. Because the man who disciplines himself can become strong. But the man who disciplines himself to serve it becomes unstoppable. The vibration of the contribution is the highest that exists. And when your aura operates at that frequency, it becomes luminous, expansive, contagious, and wide-ranging. You don't just live for the day. You influence other people's day. You don't just build your own energy. You become a point of energetic elevation in the world. This is how leaders are created. This is how legacies are born. This is how lives are transformed. Aura and legacy. What you emanate remains. The aura doesn't disappear when you leave a place. It remains imprinted in people's emotional memory. She scores. She transforms. It either inspires or weakens. Napoleon Hill said that the greatest legacy a man can leave behind is not money, but influence. In the vibrational field, this influence is literally an energetic legacy. Your aura, the way you enter life, the way you fill spaces, the way you carry your presence, is what remains when your words have faded. The final question in this morning practice is not, what will I achieve today? Yes, what kind of energy will I leave in the world today? The man who asks himself this question in the morning lives a different life. Work in a different way. Love in a different way. He leads in a different way. Decide otherwise, it grows in a different way. And its aura becomes a living force, capable of transforming everything around it. Life responds to the man who vibrates, not to the man who waits. And now we come to the heart of this teaching. Life does not respond to the man who desires change. She responds to the man fake vibration change. And this vibration is not created by chance. She is raised on the daily repetition of her morning ritual, in the way you wake up, in the way you express yourself, in the way you see yourself. It depends on how you align yourself, in the way you behave. The man who masters his first hour is always, inevitably, the man who masters his life. Life bows to the man who bows to his morning. There comes a moment when a person finally understands that the external world is not what determines who they are, but rather what their energy commands, summons, and sustains. Napoleon Hill spent his entire life repeating this truth. Man is the master of his fate because he is the master of his mind. But what many have never realized is where this domain begins. Not at the height of the day, not during big decisions, not on big days, but rather in the quietest, most intimate, and most neglected moment, the first hour of the morning. That's where your mind is most accessible. That's where your aura is most malleable. That's where your spirit is most receptive. That's where your identity is most vulnerable to what you choose to plant. And that's where you say it, consciously or carelessly, who you will be for the next 24 hours. Most people never realize that each morning is a small life, and that each life, when repeated with discipline, transforms into destiny. Life bows to the man who bows to his morning, because the morning is the source code of your vibration. And vibration is the law. Vibration is a command. Vibration is access. Vibration is key. You are not just awakening. You are choosing yourself. How many times have you spent years trying to change your reality, when all that needed changing was your first act of the day? How many times have you tried to find strength, tried to find motivation, tried to find courage, when what was lacking was consistency? How many times have you waited for the world to change, for someone to help you, for circumstances to align, when the only alignment that truly matters is that of your own aura? Look, you're not just waking up for one day. Are you waking up to a version of himself? And when you awaken to discipline, presence, clarity, and purpose, you are choosing yourself. Choosing to overcome fear, choosing above all doubt, choosing to overcome laziness, choosing oneself above old stories, choosing to transcend the identity that was left behind. The man who chooses himself in the morning will never be defeated in the afternoon. The rhythm of the universe follows the rhythm of your aura. There is a silent intelligence that governs life. Napoleon Hill called it the power of the mind. Modern science calls it a unified field. Spirituality calls this the law of vibration. And his channel is called aura of success. It doesn't matter what it's called. The principle is important. The universe responds to the dominant frequency you hold. If your frequency is unstable, your life will be unstable. If your frequency is anxious, your life will be chaotic. If your frequency is scattered, your life will be chaotic. But if its frequency is clear, if it's focused, if she is disciplined, if it is high, if it's intentional, if it's consistent, the universe will have no choice but to rearrange everything around you to match your vibration. And this dominant frequency doesn't arise by chance. She is born in the morning. The first hour is the vibrational matrix. It's the energy mold. It's the invisible blueprint of your day. You vibrate gives your aura, registers gives your life responds. Simple, deep, irrefutable. The first hour is your source of purpose. After aligning your mind, your body, your aura, and your presence, there is one last force, perhaps the most powerful of all: purpose. Napoleon Hill said that a defined purpose is the starting point of every great achievement. But purpose isn't something you discover. It's something that you choose to live every day. And the first hour of the morning is the perfect time to choose. Whom shall I serve? Whom can I strengthen? Who can I inspire? Who can receive the energy I am cultivating? What impact can I make today that I didn't make yesterday? This question immediately expands your aura. She draws her energy from her ego. It connects you to something bigger. She transforms her growth into contribution. And contribution is the most powerful frequency that exists. When you become a source, the universe becomes a river. When you become a channel, the universe becomes flow. When you become light, the universe removes shadows from your path. His aura rises, your life expands, its purpose is activated. The flower of the aura, when your energy finally bloom, at first, the transformation is subtle, a glimmer of clarity here, a better decision there, a stronger presence over there. But then, without warning, the sum of all those mornings, blossoms. Accumulated discipline becomes strength. Accumulated visualization becomes magnetism. Accumulated silence becomes wisdom. Accumulated gratitude leads to expansion. Accumulated consistency becomes identity. Accumulated identity becomes destiny. And one day, someone looks at you, someone who knew you before, and says, "There's something different about you. You feel lighter. You are safer. You look brighter. You are more yourself." They can't explain it. but they feel it. They sense his aura before they hear his voice. They feel his vibe before they see his face. They sense your presence before they hear your words. Because the aura speaks before you do. You don't just change your day, you change your story. And it changes silently, profoundly, unwaveringly. Now you understand. The man who conquers the morning conquers life. And perhaps now, everything makes sense. The declaration changes your identity. Visualization changes your vibration. Writing changes your subconscious. Gratitude changes your emotions. Certainty changes your energy field. Movement changes your body. Silence changes your soul. Discipline changes your story. Purpose changes your legacy. It all begins in the first hour. The first hour is the throne. The first hour is the gateway. The first hour is the laboratory. The first hour is the seed. The first hour is key. The first hour is the command. And when you honor that time, you become a man of identity, a man of purpose, a man of presence, a man of high spirits, a man of discipline, a man of greatness, a man with a luminous aura. Epic closing. The final call now. Take a deep breath. Place your hand on your chest. Feel the warmth of your own energy. Feel the life within you. Feel the vibration that is expanding. And listen to this truth. You're not just creating a habit. You are creating a new man. A man who knows who he is. A man who knows what he wants. A man who channels his energy. A man who disciplines his mind. A man who radiates purpose. A man who commands his aura. A man who shapes the universe around him. Because in the end, it all comes down to this. The man who conquers his morning, conquers his day. The man who conquers his day, conquers his year. The man who conquers his year, conquers his life. And now, finally, life is no longer happening for you. Life is responding to you. From today onwards, you will not awaken to the world. The world awakens to you.